A trip up the highway to Launceston as we seek redemption for our tough loss against the Blues. Can the Devils take apart the Zebras? We're going to find out on this week's Devil's Den. The map is back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Devil's Den, the For Fans by Fans podcast, where we talk nothing but Tasmania Devils. We are also the official podcast of the Tasmania Devils supporters on Facebook. Head over there, give us a like. It's a great community. And we are here to preview a big game against Sandringham. My name is JD. This is Fred. Fred, how are we feeling about the game?
Yep, I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for the bounce back game. And unfortunately, the Sandringham Zebras are in our sights and they could cop it. I'm thinking they could really cop it.
Well, we are heading back to UTAS, our fortress in the north. And you and me are going to talk about how the Devils are going to win. The one player that is absolutely licking his lips for this game, and there is one player in particular who we think needs to lift. So let's get into our opposition breakdown. Sandringham Zebras were playing Sunday the 3rd of May, 12:05 p.m. at UTAS Stadium, or York Park, as us traditionalists like to call it. Sandy are currently 17th on the ladder, 2 wins, 3 losses, and they had a competitive game last week against Box Hill, but ultimately went down 83 to 103. Mate, what do you know about Sandringham?
Well, if we've got any Sandringham fans here, I'm going to really, really disappoint you. I do not know much at all. Only what I read. So apparently, well, they were affiliated with St Kilda last year, and now that affiliation has stopped and St Kilda have got their own their affiliated team. They've been kind of gutted out. So that means any listed players have been moved on to the St Kilda list. They've probably got a new coach, probably new staff. Everything's new to them, sort of same place where they train and live and all that sort of stuff. But essentially it's a new team. I don't think they see it as that, but I think if you really have a good think about it, they're just starting again and they're finding their feet. And yeah, that's pretty much all I know about poor old Sandringham.
Poor old Sandy. Look, they were an absolute powerhouse in the mid 2000s. They won the 2004, 2005, and 2006 premierships. Went back to back to back. And this is their first year as a standalone club in 25 years. 16 years affiliated with Melbourne, and then the last 10 or so years affiliated with St Kilda. And like you said, they're piecing it together. Their coach is, I don't know if you remember Daniel Ward, who played 130 odd games for Melbourne. I think he played in the 2000 grand final, which they lost to Essendon. And recent form, mate, they've been a bit up and down, but they pulled off the surprise of the season when they actually went up to Brisbane at Brighton Homes Arena and knocked off the Lions 98 to 91. So they've got a bit of talent on the list, I think, mate. It's just whether they can put it together on the day.
Yeah, sometimes it's just one of those things, you know. They probably, their system and how they played probably was different to Brisbane's, and Brisbane's didn't click, or they didn't have their players. Like, I'm not sticking up for Brisbane at all. You can't take the win away from a team, can you? So, it just seems. Well, they're not out of it. Like, let's put it that way. Like, they've won 2, they've lost 3. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And at the moment, the ladder, if you have a look at the ladder, it's an absolute logjam now. So There's like 6 teams that have won 3 games each. So she's a bit of a cluster at the moment, and they're right up in it. So we can't really knock them too much or take them lightly at all, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, as far as the season goes, we are still working out which teams sit where. Uh,
Mm.
Sandringham have already played against 3 AFL affiliated teams in North Melbourne, Box Hill, and of course Brisbane, which they actually won. But North Melbourne did give them a bit of a touch up as well. So, like you said, we're still working out where all the teams sit, even where we sit. You know, we were exposed a little bit coming up against Carlton, and again we had the 2 weeks off, but you don't know how much you can read into that performance. And I think it's going to be a really, really interesting game on Sunday to see where we actually sit, and I think Sandringham is the perfect team for us to come up against. Up in Lonnie.
Yeah, anything could happen, really. Like, let's be honest, even if they were struggling on the bottom of the ladder, you just can't take any team lightly this day and age anyway. So hopefully we get over the top of them with our play.
100%. Now they've got a couple of good players, Fred. We had to do some deep research this week to find out who was who. They had one name on their list that I recognised, and that was I forget his first name. That's how much research I did. But young Uze plays for them, and I'm pretty sure that's he's the son of the now Richmond coach Adam Uze. So one to look out for, but didn't make the list of our biggest threats. Who have you got your eye on for Sandringham?
Yeah, I've got Jack Ferraro, who's a forward. From all reports, he's a thumping kick. He's a bit crafty as a medium forward. He has kicked 7 goals in the last 2 games, so that's pretty good. Even though they've lost, that's a pretty good return. I think he actually might find it a little bit challenging with our tall defenders. As we spoke in the last podcast, we've got some big guys back there, and if he's reliant on taking overhead marks and that, I think that we could, stitch him up a little bit. And sometimes he has been touted as a Mitch Podziagli type for Coburn. So he's a bit crafty. He's got a good kick on him and that. So from what I've seen and heard and had a look at of last week's game with the shorts there, he looks pretty good. Like, he'd be one to keep an eye on.
Bit of a lead up type. He likes it when he's got a bit of space in front of him, and that's why I think maybe he may struggle a little bit against our rock solid defensive. We're so disciplined back there. There's not often a whole lot of room in the back line for lead up forwards like him to take advantage of. But you just never know. UTAS is a big ground. It's a very big ground. So Jack Ferraro, is definitely one to watch. The next guy to watch, mate, and you said before the podcast that you're glad I got this guy because his name is Andreas Stefanakis.
How cool is his name? But
great name. It reminds me of Tanasi Kokonakis, the tennis player.
Tennis player,
yeah. This guy doesn't look like a tennis player at all. He's a short, nuggety type. He's built like a popcorn machine. This bloke. Number 13. Watch out for him because he's not very tall, but he's crafty and he gets a lot of the ball. Kicks the odd goal, sets up a lot more. Reminds me a lot of Caleb Daniel for not the Western Bulldogs, for the Kangaroos. Just that sort of, he stands out because he's only short, but he's laser-like with his precision, and just buzzes around the bottom of packs and gets it out. He will give us some issues if we let him off the chain because, like I said with our last player, Jack Ferraro, he likes to lead up. More often than not, it's Andreas Stefanakis who's delivering it to him. So one to watch there.
3 votes for his name, by the way.
100%. It's a ripper. Absolutely.
Who
have you got for our? Who have you got for our third? You go on.
Before I go on to my third guy, I reckon we should have the team with the best names in the VFL.
Oh, I love that.
Best names of best 24 best names. How cool would that be? Because there's some bloody rippers out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, as I digress. Ethan Williams, halfbacker. He's number 2 for the guy for Sandringham. What's Sandringham, isn't it? So he's a possession machine and an ultimate accumulator. So he gets the ball a fair bit. He sounds, dare I say it, he sounds a little bit like our boy Zach Adams. He spent 2024 on the GWS Giants list on the VFL side. So he's got that sort of affiliation taste as well. So, he's probably a bit professional in the way he goes about things. He's a general across the halfback. He's a guy that can, take the kick-ins, settle the play, and his position, he's really smooth by foot and really, really counterattacks hard. So like a good halfbacker, this is what this fella does. So be very interested to see if we have a counter tag half forward or someone to sort of sit on him a bit, but we'll sort of wait and see what happens with that one, I reckon.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely one to watch. He looks a little bit like our boy Jaxon Artemis as well. He's got the long curly locks, so keep an eye out for
another
Ethan
good name.
Williams. we'll get to his name very, very shortly, Fred, because we're going to talk about him in a minute. But how are we going to beat the Zebras? Honestly, I think Sandy are incredibly susceptible to the Devils' strength, which is pressure. Watching the replay of the Brisbane game where they ended up winning, they had so much time and space with the ball, which is just crazy because the way that the Lions are coached, they're frenetic tacklers, but they just couldn't get their tackle game going, and Sandy really, really took advantage. I don't think they're going to have that much time and space when they come up against the Devils. And I think if the Devils just play their natural, tough, chaos ball, move it forward game, I think they should win. Thoughts on that one, Fred?
Yeah, I think you might be spot on there. I kind of have looked around who plays in what positions, and I noticed that their backs aren't overly tall, so they haven't really got anyone 200 centimeters sort of thing, which, you've got Huge. He's 200 centimeters. He's a big boy and he's 100 kegs. So maybe our strengths could be the two talls, but I really want to see Jed and the other boys, the half forwards, get off the leash a bit this week as well. Probably even get them up the ground a little bit and give them space, give the big guys a bit more space to work into. I think that'd be all right to see too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see Jed hit the scoreboard a bit more like he did in that first game. He's playing well without being outstanding at the moment. But like you said, if we can really push up the ground, make the ground small, get that tackling game going, hopefully guys like Jed Hagan and Lockie Hay can take advantage going back the other way.
Yeah.
It would.
Don't forget Jed. Jed got knocked in the ribs too, so that could be on his mind a little bit. Yeah. So that game last week was probably a bit of an outlier for Jed. He's probably a bit more cautious about how he attacks the ball on that just for this one. And, who knows after this week he got through and he might feel a bit more relaxed about how he feels about his ribs and how he's going about it. So, yeah, he could very well perk himself back up.
Look, from a selfish point of view, Jed Hagen's name has been touted as one that's heavily on the AFL recruiters lists. So if he has a couple of quiet weeks and just kind of slowly falls off the radar till the second half of the season, I'm not going to complain about that at all. Purely selfish hot take there. Of course, we hope as many of our boys get drafted as possible, but also leave us with some stars, please, AFL. Speaking of stars, let's move now to our player to watch. And this week, I want to talk about my boy Jaxon Artemis, the guy with the best name in the league. He would be the captain of the best named 22 list, I reckon, Fred. We're
definitely going to do this. We're definitely doing that.
If you haven't heard our earlier podcast, the name Artemis is the Greek god for nature and vegetation, which we think is basically the Greek god of Tasmania. So my boy, the Greek god, Jaxon Artemis, I think he will be licking his lips for this game. Second game back, he'll have a bit of trust in those hamstrings after what we thought was a season-ending injury last time he played at UTAS, but he managed to recover and he managed to play the next game. And I think York Park is absolutely designed for players like Jaxon Artemis. Bellarive, famously small cricket ground. Let's be honest, Bellarive was always designed as a cricket ground. It's not meant to be played on footy, whereas York Park, 100% a footy oval. And you can expect my boy Jaxon Artemis to just absolutely have a field day. Expect 20-plus disposals and 5 to 8 rebounds is what I'm calling. Fred, what do you reckon?
Yeah, he's due for a big game. And like you said, his hamstring, I thought he was seriously gone for 6 weeks. Just the way he didn't like pull up. He just stopped dead and just grabbed the hamstring and straight down he went. I'm like, oh, geez, someone's shot him there. But yeah, he's I hope he plays a really good game. One, because he's got an awesome name, and I want to hear it about 1,000 times during the telecast. But yeah, I think he'll go all right. JD, that's a good pick.
Who are you watching this game, mate?
I've got my eye on the King of the North, Brad Cox-Goodyer. So he had a reasonably good game last time at York Park. There we go, UTAS Stadium. I just want to see, because I think he's been playing up on the wing a little bit. I just want to see him sort of shuffle over a little bit more and sort of get into the play around, be that link between half back or, right on the back line to the middle of the ground. So he has got great skills. He's a strong little fella. Well, he's not little. He's just a big lace, big solid fella. I just want to see him really get involved and, show, even though at his age that he does belong there. And I just think that he's like I said, the King of the North. He's going to be up and about this week.
I love it. I'd love to see him emulate his form from the Frankston game, where he was very close to best on ground in that Frankston game, I think. So influential. He was hitting targets. That goal he kicked from the forward flank was just outstanding against Frankston. So we'd like to see a bit more of that from I love that, the King of the North. That's going to stick, I think. I don't
King
mind
of the North. That. He's the King of the North.
All right, flip side, mate. I am finding it very hard to find someone who needs to lift this week. So I'm actually...
You chicken.
I'm going to bow out. I am sorry. I couldn't find anyone because I think just everyone has been in some type of form, and everyone's role has been pretty much met up until now. But I think you've managed to dig someone out. Fred, who did you want to talk about in our who needs to lift category?
Now, you used to do this to me on the bloody Jack Jumpers podcast. You go, oh, no, I've got no one. You make me out to be the bloody bad guy. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
All right. But.
Yeah. Who is it? Are you going to roast?
I've got, oh, I'm not roasting him. He's a good kid. Jack Callanan, he's my needs to lift for this week. The last couple of weeks, he just hasn't got involved and been as effective as he can be. That's the word I'll say. The word he can be. His skills are. I don't know if he's just not confident in himself and what he's doing or his role, but he has been playing the back line when he is a forward line player. Like he's been a forward line player his whole life. So I'm going to give him a pass for that sort of transition. So I just want to see Jack play a good game. That's all I want. I'm not telling him he's doing anything bad, like you're making him out to be by telling him he needs to lift and making me the bad guy. But yeah, no, I just want to see him play a good game because like if you're a coach and you're always on someone's back, they've got talent and you want them to play well because they can do it. That's the same thing I want to sort of convey with Jack Callanan. So, what do you think about that, eh? You got anything to say? No, you're going to chicken out of that too.
No, I don't. I don't mind it. I did like that Jezza tried him up forward during the Brisbane game, the Bellarive game, and he managed to sneak forward and kick very, very straightly on a night where we weren't kicking straight. He actually managed to dob one. So, I'm all for trying him in a few different spots because. He's been entrusted with the kick-ins for the first month of the Devils season, and he's been okay, but at times I think maybe the pressure has gotten to him, and there's been a few costly turnovers. I'd like to see him spend a bit more time in the forward line and really show us what he showed when he was playing for the Allies in the underages.
Yeah, like I'm saying, he's got huge amount of potential and talent, but when you see someone being shuffled around the ground a lot, I think they're probably not on their last chance, but it's like if we can't play him here and we can't play him there, where can we play him, sort of thing. And that's trying to work it out just to see how quick he adapts to other positions and scenarios. I'm not saying he's on his what do you call it, official warning. I'm just saying that he was a forward. He was probably drafted into the VFL as a forward or selected as a forward. That experiment when he's gone back hasn't failed. Like I wouldn't call it a failure at all. It's actually probably been successful, and like you mentioned, the occasion probably got a little bit better of him in the last couple of games, and that's okay. We all go through it, and yeah, I'm just here to say, give him the old hair tussle and say, you've got it, you can do it, mate. So that's all I'd probably say about that.
Look, if you go to YouTube and type in Jack Callanan and have a look at his highlights, mate, you will see that this kid's got it, and he will. If he can bring his underage form to the Devils, he's got so much value to offer. We're just asking to see a little bit more of it, and asking him to maybe relax and play his natural game. I think that's what we can say about Jack, because we're massive supporters of him.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Let's. There's a bit of news to talk about this week. Vice Captain Jai Menzies is touch and go. He hasn't been officially ruled out at this stage of recording, but it's looking maybe more unlikely than likely that he'll be named in the team this week. You spoke to him this week, Fred. Did he? Was he hobbling at all?
I don't know. He couldn't stay still for me holding the camera. No, it was me holding the camera. It was me.
That's right.
It was me trying to hold the camera, hold my little book, add my questions in, and hold the microphone all at the same time. So, yeah, professional Fred journalist. But no, he did. Like, I don't even think it was brought up from the other news crew and all that there. So I think he'll play. I just think he's just a little bit ginger. He might have copped a bit of a hit on the hip, and I don't know if you've ever been like kneed in the hip or anything like that. It does make you feel uncomfortable, and it feels like you've been shot in the hip. But he's probably done all the right things and got in the cold water, had a cold plunge, and rubbed it out. So I reckon he'll be fine. I don't think there's too much to see here.
Very good. In other news, Andrew Dillon and Tom Harley from the AFL were in Hobart this week, having a chat with Premier Jeremy Rockliff and also the staff at the Tasmanian Devils. I think they probably had a cheeky beer with Brendan Gale. By all reports, top of the agenda was the High Performance Centre and the Mac Point Stadium, but don't be surprised if Jeremy Rockliff was also having a chat with them about how we can manage to snavel gather round off South Australia when the stadium is eventually built. What have you heard about Andrew Dillon and Tom Harley's visit, mate?
Yeah, it was just like you said. It was mostly talking about Mac Point and the High Performance Centre and showing them basically the blueprints of it. And I reckon it's just giving them an update on where they're at about the tenure and all that. But about the Tasmanian-based gather round, I don't think we should go for the gather round. I don't think it would be suitable down here because purely it is hard to get to Tasmania and all the clubs and that get down here and settled in and that. It's just going to be too hard. But before everyone goes nuts in the comment section, I will say when the stadium is built, we should have a gather round type, but call it a welcome to AFL round. So it's like a welcome to the AFL round Tasmania, and they just have a gather round type of round down in Tasmania, just for one year, and that's it, no more.
Maybe for opening round, or that's a horrible for round one. All teams play in Tassie on that weekend. Yeah. The first year the Devils are in the league. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
Yeah. I call it welcome to AFL round.
Perfect. All right. Last piece of news: Todd Patterson, the recruiting manager at the Devils, has announced that we are already offering contracts to players. There are a number of AFL contracts that have been submitted to players. The clubs don't know about them. They've just been. It's sort of like an unofficial agreement between the player and the manager and the Devils. But they are currently out there, and there are players already at this very point considering whether they're going to come down and play for the Apple Isle. Some of the names that have been thrown around: Beau McCreary would be an awesome pickup. He's such a gun. I love Beau McCreary. I reckon Alex Pearce would be high on their agenda, and Tom Green is the other one. Currently plays for GWS and is out with an ACL. And all reports is he's very interested in coming down. And there's no state that's more green than Tasmania, so Tom Green would fit right in. Have you heard any other names that they're talking to, Fred?
No, I haven't really heard any other reports on who they're talking to. My wish list is quite extensive. I'd like to see him throw some money at Zach Butters for sure. if you entice him with enough money and, promise a few things here and there, it could be very enticing for him. And it does depend on the coach too, who you get as the coach, on
absolutely.
who you scout for the players. So the inaugural the inaugural coach, they've all got their coaching philosophy, and you kind of have to build around their philosophy. So, this is why I don't think, I'm sorry to say this, and he's an absolute gun. I actually don't think Nathan Buckley is the right person for the job at this time. I think they should be chasing, Ken Hinkley, John Longmire, even who's West Coast's
Adam Simpson.
Adam Simpson, yeah.
He's one I like as well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't mind Buckley, but I just think that there's a real good opportunity. All three coaches I've mentioned are player coaches. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They really connect with their tribe, and that's who I want. And I think they would embrace the Tassie way as well. So
absolutely,
yeah. Let's see what happens.
I don't mind that at all. Your bold prediction for this game, Fred? Who's going to win?
We're going to bounce back. We are going to bounce back and bounce back hard. I feel sorry for Sandringham because they are going to cop it. And I reckon Dixon's going to get a 5 or 6 goal game this game. I really do think he's ready for it. He's going to get a 5 or 6 goal game. And I reckon our good friend Jed, he's going to get a couple goals.
He'll get
and
3.
I reckon, he'll get 3. And I reckon my buddy Chaplin in the back line, he's going to play a blinder. He's going to have 8 intercept marks. He's going to have a few more posies than usual. He's going to star. You watch him.
Well, this is out there now, Fred. I'm writing down all these predictions as we speak, and we'll talk about it early next week as to how many come to fruition. I think the same. I think the Devils will be keen after spending a couple of days with the Wolf Brothers learning how to sing the song. They will be keen to sing it, and I'm looking forward to them absolutely belting it out, word for word, no ums, no ahs, no quiet spots. I'm so excited. Let's go Devils. We can beat the Zebras. Yeah. Oh, all right. Saying that is just about all the time we've got for today. Every time I put the call out, the subscriptions go through the roof. We're nearly at 140 after being at 130 at the start of the week. You guys are awesome. If you've made it this far in the podcast, though, please go and hit that subscribe button. We've got a goal to reach 150 by the round 9 bye. And I think we're well on track, but we still need your click. And we'd love to be in your ear holes every single week when we do this, because that's ultimately why we do it. We want you to hear our voice and our hot takes, and we want you to comment and tell us why we're wrong. Fred, anything from you before we go?
Yeah, I think we should be more controversial. We'll get more clicks and likes and that.
Might get less interviews if we are.
Yeah, I think so. I'm probably going to cop it about Jack Callanan, to be quite fair. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to stay off the socials because I think I'll be playing myself at around about that time. So I'm going to stay away from the socials and anyone. So I'm going to watch the replay when I get home. So no one message me and ruin it. Okay, I just need this. I need this.
Very good. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, the map is back.
We're the Devils, heroes